Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with my Dress Up Darling season 2 episode number 6 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, the school festival that's going to be happening, everyone is getting prepared for it. We have Gojo who was preparing the cosplay dress, and Marin who wanted to help Gojo out, so she made him food and stuff, bento and stuff. Even though ultimately she ended up making fried stuff again, which is obviously not good for the stomach, if you keep eating those like crazy fried like meat products. But yeah, anyways, it was the thought that counted. And yeah, also Gojo also, after listening to his grandfather, understood that how it is important to help people, it is also important to ask for help, which is something that Gojo always struggled with. So later on, after he made the dress and mine like dressed up and everything, Gojo asked one of the guys from for help for acting as a model for mine, so that mine can copy that. So all that stuff. Things are looking good. Things are going smoothly. So yeah, let's see what happens today. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. I'll make it happen no matter what with these two hands. Okay. Right. Yeah, Gojo has to like do it again because there's like a part where he messed up a little bit, and then there's not enough time. Oh yeah, the spray painting. uh, nah, yeah, true. Hmm. Damn. Damn. Yeah. It looks a bit weird, but Oh, okay. That's nice. So, oh, I see. I guess she's going to. Hmm. Okay. I see. I see. Okay. Yeah, so that, it has like three stems. Nice. Ah. Well, yeah. Yeah. It depends. Yeah. Okay. Kick butt. Alright, so it's the day of the festival, right? Yep. Oh, damn. Hmm. No. Food. Damn. That's fine. Let the beauty pageant start first. Well, you guys shouldn't fight amongst yourself. Hmm. Yep. Hmm. Oh, second day. Oh, there you go. There's the rose. Mm. Yeah. No. Oh damn. Oh my god, everyone wants to watch. Oh god, this. What? Oh, right. He's like, okay, this is a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Bro, chill. Oh boy. Oh my god, more people. Yeah, that's I don't think also like nobody over there knew you, so nobody was like paying attention. Yet everyone knows you guys, so they're just hmm. All right. Right. Damn, he's understanding the other characters. Yeah. Damn, everyone stopped eating. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll probably see her at the very end in the on stage. Here we go. Okay. Mine for the win. Yes. Oh. Nice. Oh my god. Everyone's freaking out. Yep. Oh, damn. Mm. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Is she going to sing or something? What? Oh, yeah. The champagne. That one, right? The champagne chant or whatever it was called. Oh, no. Everyone's other than the art class, everyone's just like, what's happening? Well, what the hell is? Okay, it. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter whatever others. She's going to she's going to vote for her. So there you go. All right. So what happened? Yes. All right. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Do you want to ask him for makeup tips? Oh my god. Oh god. Right. Mm. Yep. Well. Hmm. Oh. Right. Right. Oh my god, the crane game. Total scam. Well, it never works. Oh wait, okay, so I guess finally they got it. Yep. Oh, Purikura. Wait, what the hell? That's Marin, right? Oh yeah, she's a model. He's checking his money. Picture. I, what the hell? Yeah. Bah. She used all the money that she put in, bruh. All right. So wait, this was the second cosplay of season two, right? Yeah. All right. And there you go. That was today's episode. Now, today we had the beauty pageant and the whole competition, the whole school festival, and yeah, like mine did a great job. We had Gojo who also made the dress pretty well, and yeah, the makeup and everything worked out perfectly, and it was a full success. So today's episode had a few things that we saw. First and foremost, we got to see that whole section where Gojo was not sure what to do with the flower, but in the end, that one girl, she was like, "Oh, I know how to do it." So she like helped them out, and in the end, she was like, "Oh, this really helped you guys, right?" And she's like, "You know what? It's kind of nice, when you genuinely need like help and you help someone and it actually helps them. As a person helping out, it's also a pretty good feeling, which is also something where Gojo realized that this is something he never thought about. From the previous episode, we have been seeing, like the episodes kind of focusing more on how Gojo perceives like asking for help, like how Marin, like how their Gojo's grandpa told that just like how you can help others, you should also be able to take help from others. For mine, it was she wanted to help Gojo, so that's why the whole like bento and all that stuff she was doing. But for Gojo, it is a little bit different because he's usually the one who helps others, but he has never asked for help in that way. So in the previous episode, it started with Gojo asking for help from that guy. In today's episode, it was this girl with the whole flower, rose flower, the way to dye the flower. This whole thing. So with after today's episode, he realized that it's you shouldn't think that, oh, I'm asking for help, so obviously it is inconveniencing someone or something. You should also realize that sometimes when people help you out, they also like it. They also appreciate you asking for help. So you just shouldn't assume that, oh yeah, like it is something that we have to do. I shouldn't bother others. That's why I'm not going to ask anyone for help. I'll try to do it on my own. And you shouldn't think of it like that. You shouldn't just put, you shouldn't just assume that, oh, if I ask someone, they're going to get inconvenienced. Not always that happens. Like in today's episode, as we saw, the girl was like, oh yeah, you know what, it's pretty nice to help others. Something like that. So Gojo realized that as well, and that was nice. So that was the first section, and the later section we get to see Gojo having obviously a little bit of anxiety attack because he usually is not accustomed to doing like makeup and everything in front of so many people. Even in the cosplay, when they were doing cosplay in the convention, that happened, like like they went like in a corner and they did all the makeup and everything. So yeah, and obviously in these type of like cosplay like conventions and everything, everyone is doing that. So like everyone is doing that. Everyone has that like group of people who are helping people put the dress on, put the makeup on and everything. So everyone is doing that and everyone's like busy with their own thing. So even if you're like putting makeup on someone, like 100 other people are also doing the same thing, and they don't really have enough time to look at you and see what you are doing or something. They're just busy with their own thing. So like nobody's really paying attention to you. Here, every single one of the students from their class, they wanted to see how Gojo put on the makeup because everyone were curious. We had the girls, like they were curious as to how they do cosplay makeup, because obviously they themselves put makeup on and everything, so they must be curious, like, oh, like this is like a cosplay makeup, you're making someone into a completely different character. What type of makeup do you use? What do you do? All these things. They had a lot of they had no idea about a lot of things, because this is very different from like a normal putting normal makeup on. Since you're trying to make someone into something completely different, there's a lot of things required. So they were all focused on that. They were like, oh yeah, we want to see. While we had the fans of the show, they were curious as to how Gojo is going to transform Mind into Reisama. Like, because they're big fans of the show themselves, and they, like, really appreciate Rei so much that they want to see that. You know, something like that. And then we had the others who were curious because they were curious at the fact that how Gojo will do it. A lot of their friends were curious as to like how Gojo does this, because obviously they know that Gojo does the makeup, but they've never seen it with their own eyes. So they're curious with that, and and most of the other people were just curious because they wanted to see what's going on. So each had like their own reason for seeing what's happening, and they all just sat down. Like everyone, even the students who were like their friends who were busy with other things, when it was that time, they all came here in this room, and they were like, okay, let's see the makeup, what Gojo does. Everyone was focusing on them. Gojo's freaking like panicking because he's like, oh no, if I mess up, so many people looking at me, so much expectations. If I mess up, then it's done for. Like they were giving everything, all the like they were giving all the support to us, and they have supported us in many ways, like when like required, like with the flower, with other stuff, when I wasn't able to complete or help the other students in doing the decorations for the classroom. They said that, oh, you don't have to do it, you just focus on your thing. All of those things that they did, they did it so that we can win. So everything's on us. If I'm not able to do it properly, I'll be disappointing everyone. But then in the end, what made him change completely here is when because at the beginning he was focusing on everyone, all the other people's expectations. He was like, oh yeah, they're expecting so much from us, I have to do this, otherwise I'll be disappointing them, this and that. But then like his focus changed when he realized that, wait a minute, not only them, I'm also doing this for Marin as well. So that is the thing that I should be focusing on, like because mine, this is surely I'm doing this, I'm doing the makeup and everything. Mine is also expecting, wanting to win, and she kind of remembered when Mine told him that, don't worry, I will win. So as soon as he realized and he focused on that instead of focusing on every other people's expectations on him, he was like focused completely. He was like, yes, I want her to win, and for that I'm going to support her however way possible. Instead of focusing on other people's expectation, he started focusing on the pure emotion that he wanted her to win, and to do that he has to give it her his all. And he kind of like sympathized with that feeling. He kind of realized that, oh, this is probably the same feeling that the characters in the show felt when they wanted Reisama to win, and they were like supporting her from the background. This is probably the same feeling that they felt. Yeah, and then then we saw that he completely went into focus mode and started doing the makeups and everything, and yeah, it was perfectly done. In the end, they ended up winning everything, like the whole talent part, like where they were like, oh, show your talent or whatever. That part, I wasn't sure how everyone is taking that part, because like people, like the thing is it seemed a bit, I don't know what to say, but it seemed like kind of different than what I was expecting it was going to be. But then I was like, everyone will be okay with this, because all the people here are like fans of the show in itself. So they know like what this whole chanting, this champagne chant that they were doing, what this is. And people who watch the show, they will know what this. It's like a reference for like something. For example, it's like, just think about it in like a cosplay convention or a place where there's a lot of people who watches anime. you know if you put on like a cosplay of a certain character and go in front of them and do something specifically that that character does in the anime, some maybe like some very famous quote, or like something that is very famous, like some kind of a meme or whatever that is related to the show. If you do that, like, people who do not watch the show, obviously they won't understand what the hell you're doing, but since everyone over there is someone who knows what the show is, they will appreciate it more. So I think it was something like that that was happening, and when everyone kind of joined them in the champagne chant, like it kind of worked out because everyone here, like, knows about the show, and they like they kind of followed them. And one thing Gojo said, I think it is it was wise of them to make the other girls and the boys in the class to join Marin in the chant, because to be honest, nobody was repeating it. You saw what was happening. Mine was the one who was saying that, and only her class was repeating it. Obviously, I'm sure people wanted to repeat it, but a lot of people were probably embarrassed to do that. Because come on, like, in front of so many people, you can. So it was good that they asked everyone in their class to repeat along with mine. Otherwise, it would have been bad because mine would be saying it on her own. Nobody would be saying that. It would be so awkward, you know. So all everyone in their class were ready. They were like, yes, whenever mine is going to say it, we are going to repeat it, and we're going to start chanting that. So even if nobody else follows us on that, still, we will be doing it, so things will be okay, it won't be awkward. So yeah, in the end, it really worked out perfectly. um like, yeah, and then that the girl who was judging them, mine went and brought that girl on the stage and did a whole thing with her, and in the end she was like, yes, you guys, you you won. Yeah, so that's what happened. Either way, yeah, things actually went well. you know Gojo was able to get over his, not completely, but at least, partially, he was able to get over his, like, not fear, but his, uh yeah, I guess you could say fear, because he genuinely feared what other people will think if they get to know that he does the makeup, he does the dresses and everything. He was able to get over that because now he knows that not every people is going to judge me like Nonchan did. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of different circumstances and a lot of different ways of looking at the world. And by now, most of them are like teenagers. They have a better understanding of everything. So like, nobody's like really going to judge him like that. And like, him doing the makeup and dresses is something that is not weird or unusual. Like, a lot of people does that. Not only that, Gojo was also able to, um, get accustomed, at least, asking for help. Like, if you need help, he could now be like, oh, like, can you help me out with this and everything. He asked help with that guy to help him with the modeling. Then the flower, the rose flower, the seven colored rose, that part. you know so these are like, this helped him out to be a little bit more, like, comfortable in asking for help, not only just helping others, but asking for help or expecting help from others. Like, because up until now he was like, okay, don't worry, I'll do this, I'll do everything on my own, don't have to worry about it, this and that. But when everyone was like, no, you don't have to do everything on your own, we will help, you don't have to come here and do the job that we are doing, because you're focusing on the dress in itself, focus on that, you don't have to do what we are doing here, we will take care of that. So all these things, yeah, he was able to understand all these things a lot better and get accustomed to properly asking for help and expecting help as well from others. Something like that. So yeah, that was that. They won the beauty pageant. In the end, their class ended up winning. Yeah, and then we had the after party where again Gojo was kind of hesitating. He was like, "Oh, should I go? Should I not go?" But they were like, "Nah, come on, go. Let's come with us." Gojo was saying like, "Oh no, I didn't really do anything. I just did the dress." And they're like, "Yeah, that's more than enough." Like I genuinely think like Gojo probably obviously everyone did their part, but I have to say that if you kind of put everything into like a scale, Gojo definitely did the most out of everyone. So the fact that he's thinking that he didn't do anything is completely wrong. And I can say this, like everyone agrees on that as well. Can you imagine making a dress from scratch? Like that is crazy. Not only that, doing like making the props, putting all of those on Marin, and doing her makeup, and all those things. Not only that, he messed up a little bit in the middle where he didn't put on the bodysuit on Marin before doing the measurement, so he had to redo it again. So it's like he did it like two times. I guess the dress he changed like two times. All of that is way, way, way more work than any other thing that has happened here, in this festival. So everyone knows that how much he did, but he was like, "Oh, I didn't really do anything. I just did the dress." But yeah, that dress in itself is a huge amount of work. Like he did it on his own. Like it's crazy, like how much time and effort it would need to make a dress from scratch. Like yeah, you could say that he is used to it. That's probably why he probably doesn't take that much amount of time that a person who is doing for the first time would have taken. But still, it doesn't, like if you're used to it, doesn't really mean that the amount of effort that you're putting on it and the amount of stuff you have to do gets reduced. Obviously not. The amount of work you have to do, even if you are a beginner, and even if you're a veteran, is the same. It's just that the amount of time you'll take will reduce as you get better and better at it. But the amount of work they're doing is the same. you know so so yeah, you'll start working more efficiently. So yeah, for him, it was a huge amount of work, like making like a dress completely on your own. In the end, they went to the karaoke, and like everyone was like, like they had like a good, they were talking and they were communicating and everything. And the girls were like, "Oh, how did you do it?" Now here's another thing. Obviously the girls were very interested in how he did the makeup, is because obviously there's so many things that he did you don't really need to do if you're doing like normal makeup. Like for example, the tape and everything. They were like, "Oh my god, how did you change the facial shape with that tape?" Like so many things. Like all those things they were asking. The boys were like talking about which characters they liked and everything. One of those guys were like, "You know what? I actually like the other girl. I forgot her name. The girl who supports Ray. You know, that girl. Sumugi. Yeah, here we go. Um, then all that stuff, and then in the end, Gojo was like, "Okay, I'm getting a bit too overwhelmed. Let me just go outside and sit down a little bit." And mine followed him, and yeah, they had the whole conversation. Then they went to the uh, crane game, did the crane game, and obviously Gojo had to spend so much on it. Like, and it's funny because I obviously like these crane games and stuff we've seen in anime so many times. But the more and more I've seen these, seen these on, like uh, in animes and stuff, I've realized that these crane games are absolute scams. Like, it's usually, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but like most of the places that I've seen these being, in all the animes that I've seen, a lot of them has mentioned how the cranes are very weak, so they're not able to pick up the things properly. It just drops midway. So you end up spending so much more than you could have gotten just by buying it normally. But that's not part of the fun. The part of the fun is like trying to get it like that. So even if you end up spending a lot of extra money on it, I guess it's the fun that matters. But still, at the end of the day, it's a full-on scam. you know like it's kind of funny because it took me little by little a lot to realize it. Also, like the Yakuza games, if you have played it, when there's a mini game over there with the whole um, uh, claw machine thing. You can properly understand how difficult it is to do it. Like, obviously I haven't went to Japan, so I don't know, like I've not played these like directly IRL. But in those games, especially in those Yakuza games, good God, it's difficult. It's very difficult. And then we also had the whole purikura at the end, where mine was like, oh, I want to get a purikura with Gojo, but then all the others were there, and they ended up snapping pictures with Gojo, and mine was like, what the hell? I wanted to take the picture. I'm just standing here outside. Oh my God. Right. And yeah, and there you go. So that was a success. We had, the second cosplay of the season. Obviously, the first cosplay was the bunny girl. I forgot the name of the characters over there. The bunny girl cosplay that Marin did. The second one was this one, obviously Rei-sama. And I think there's one more cosplay, or maybe two more. I'm not sure. But I think like the nun cosplay that we see in the opening, we're going to see that. But I feel like there should be two more cosplays if it goes like this is a sixth episode. There should be six more episodes, right? We had two cosplays in 6 episodes, so there should be two more cosplays in the remaining 6 episodes, right? I'm not sure, but in the opening we see only one more cosplay after this, which is the nun cosplay, which I'm looking forward to it because I have to say the non cosplay that I've seen in the opening, it looks really good, especially like the makeup and everything. You know, like it looks so different. So it should be very interesting to see that cosplay. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, that is it. That was my reaction to today's episode. That was episode number 6 of my Dress Up Darling season 2. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of my Dress Up Darling. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.